right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk, extra edition. It's day 3 reaction. We're going to talk about Sark and some words that he had, and we're also going to put into line here kind of what DeBoer said, maybe what he didn't say. We even have some stuff on old Billy the Kid, so hang around. We'll be right back. Hang on. Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk with Big Matt and Diamond Dean. All right, welcome in here on the day of July the 16th, 2025, the year of our Lord here. Appreciate you guys for coming by and hanging out with me for a little bit. We also have, allegedly, I just found this out here, I don't know, probably just within the hour. Allegedly, Auburn has filed a complaint against Lane Kiffin of Ole Miss. I'm not sure about details or any of that kind of stuff. There's a lot we could say, and we can get into a little bit more of that, and some things we're kind of picking up what they're stepping in. We could talk about that some. So I guess, first of all, we're going to talk about some local stuff here. Shout out here, the Peanut Gallery. What's up, Jeff Anderson, #1 fan in the world. He's here every time we come on. I really do appreciate you, Jeff. It does mean a lot. Says the Grinder wins $10,000 main event, $10 million first place money at the coveted. Also, what was it, Jeff, at the – I think an all-star game, something ended last night with a home run, something to that line of degree. We can talk about that a little bit. Also want to talk about some local football, some camps and stuff. We see some shots going on from over at Spring Garden, over at Jason Howard Field. Seeing them get some things done, and it's getting pretty close. I mean, we're looking at – just really about 3 weeks, before we're gonna be starting up some football, especially for around here. And just within, DeBoer said, what was it? He had so many days, 40 days or something. They're gonna, hit practice day 1. First of all, we'll get on the idea of some local stuff too. Cedar Bluff traveled over to Sandrock over here. I got to see the guys practice, a little 7-on-7, linemen doing some drills and that type of stuff against each other, quarterback stuff throwing to each other. Then they kind of put them together and have a nice little practice. They're just shorts and helmets and stuff, just kind of moving around, no tackling or nothing like that. But it was fun to see Coach Crane in here getting into his 3rd year now of setting in things in motion and really fully feeling like year 2, and it seems like it's his team. Okay, he's got his guys that he's kind of brought in, and first of all, I think they look fast. They have some young players, but I think there's plenty of potential there to warm into something. And then also other side, Coach Nelson welcomed him to Sandrock. He came from Sylvania, originally a guy that come over from Collinsville that helped Coach Willingham over there at Collinsville. So he's from good stock, great people, and their quarterback, Alec Ashley, and then Timothy's boy, Bradley, he's throwing the ball around over there at Cedar Bluff. But I think they both threw the ball very well. They're pretty close, same age, maybe a year apart. I think there's plenty of potential there. Sandrock throwing the ball around, and both teams don't lose a lot. Maybe a lineman or two on each side, and one of the running backs had some seniors there, and Cedar Bluff lost their quarterback for some shoulder injury stuff. So, little Bradley boy's going to step in and play there, and quarterback's nothing new for an Ashley at Sandrock. They've been doing it now for 6-7 years. I mean, it's been a long time, and I enjoyed it getting to see the guys and running some of the parents' stuff and just been able to shoot the breeze a little bit and talk about the upcoming season. I'm excited. They're excited. So I had to give them a shout out over there for Sandrock and Cedar Bluff little camp that they did. And seeing Coach Knapp today in town, they were doing some recertification things they have to do for some coaches, him and the group, my cousin Kurt, and their coach Nelson, which is Jim's dad. He's over there too, and some of his help. Got to go over and see them, the Gillsville Trojans, see how they are kicking right along also. So I'm going to spend a few minutes giving them a little shout out. Let's see here. Jeff says that Junkins was okay. Yeah, I was wondering how that's worked out for trial. We're talking about the running back at Ohio State. He got in trouble down in Fort Lauderdale. I don't know, man. Just being a young guy, been there, done that personally, raising my hand, not getting on him, not judging him at all. Seems like that charges were serious. He doesn't have a contract with Cleveland. NFL is in. Oh, okay. He does not have a contract. Well, I ain't gonna throw the guy down the road. He's not a kid anymore. He's a grown man playing professional ball, and I'm not spreading rumors. I'm just telling you what we had heard, as other people had also heard about him. Watched him play from high school level. He is a football player. Watched him play at Pike Road. Watched him play a state championship game, and nothing short about his ability. But we heard that Dart, and maybe it was the bowl game or one of the games or something, that he was just not being very agreeable in the huddle, is what was said. And supposedly, allegedly, Dart pretty much laid out, if he don't get out of here, I'm going to. And supposedly he took him out some plays. And so it seems like it's not new for him to be, I don't know, he's got some conduct trouble. So we wish him the best and hope everything works out. And seem to be charges, Jeff said they're pretty serious. So there's some news. While you're already here, go ahead and like. If you're on Facebook, just hit the little blue thumbs up. I would appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, like the show, just mash the thumbs up, Jeff. He always does it. We ain't got to worry about him not doing that. Now, first of all, Alabama. Let's talk about Coach DeBoer. I kind of use that word comfortable, kind of the way that Coach Crane seemed like to settle in to being his team for Cedar Bluff there. DeBoer seems in his year two that he seems pretty comfortable being the head coach there. Year one is always an adjustment time, one. Two, he didn't even get to bring all his coaches. He only actually brought two of his offensive guys, Sheridan and one of the other guys. Because Grubb and one of the other ones there stayed at Seattle. So, I mean, right off, you're kind of walking in to – feels like you're walking into a party without your best friend. And he was supposed to come, and you went by his house to pick him up, and he's sick. You're like, crap, man, I don't want to even go to this party. I mean, do I really – I mean, like, he's my ride or die, man. We bros. We roll together everywhere. I mean, him and DeBoer, Grubb, and DeBoer's been together for years. So I think that was – I'm not making excuses, guys. They won 9 games. None of their fans, most of their fans are not complaining about that. Anybody's being just realistic. They're not complaining about that. So we'll say that to get that out of the way first. His first season, 9 wins, which is a first since 1933. I think Coach Thomas. Oops, I think it's Frank Thomas. Really? No, not that Frank Thomas. That played basketball at Auburn and the White Sox. To win 9 games their first year. Yeah, it was Coach Thomas. I wrote down. That's a pretty big accomplishment. It is. Let's see. What was the other little stat that was interesting? Top 25 wins. He's 15-3. Coach DeBoer is the best in the nation. Actually, I didn't know that. I knew his record was 15-3, seems like, but I didn't know that's the best going right now. So kudos to him on all the time and hard work that he puts in on it. Guys seem that they are competing with each other very well. That's what he noted. He's seen through practice and that kind of stuff. So it's something pretty significant going on there for Alabama right now. They didn't lose any guys in the portal in spring. No starting significant players of any kind. Let's see. So they didn't really lose any guys in the portal. They did have 8 seniors last year, but however, looks like, mostly going to be – he played a lot of freshmen last year on special teams. We had seen that. Seen some guys that hung around and wanted to tough it out, and that's a big deal. 17 seniors on the team this year, which doubles last year's team. Last year's team, I think he said they only had 8 – I just said they graduated 8. They only had 8, so this year there's 17 seniors. So that's a pretty senior-heavy team for Alabama. And we go through this because we're getting ready for football, and this gives you, if you're a big fan of whoever, going through this stuff gives you some notes to take, or mental notes to say. It can give you an idea in your water cooler talk, and that's why you come by here. That's why you want to come hang out with us during the weekend on Sundays, to have good water cooler knowledge. I mean, we're giving you free stuff here. You can carry this information with you. You can sound like you know what you're talking about when you're talking about Alabama, Auburn, Texas, Georgia. So that experience alone equals into reps. And he was really adamant about that. I also watched DeBoer on the next round, watched him and Freeze, because being an Alabama show, the next round, Dunaway, love those guys. They've been around. He had a long time, part of football here in the state. So, experience, getting more reps, getting more snaps, and the more that a team can get snaps and reps together that's huge. That's a big deal, man. That really matters a lot. There's nothing like continuity as a team starts to gel together and play better together. I think there was some of that, a little bit of that was missing last year. And I think the biggest problem, without going down a long road that I've probably talked about 2 or 3 times, the packages and things that were added weekly to Milroe, he didn't get all of it all the time. And I've said this too, bless his heart, bro. That's an Alabama word, bless his heart. If you live around here, he had like 4 or 5 coordinators, guys. If you really want to go back to when Milroe came to, he was pretty much told he'd never be a quarterback first. And he wasn't a great quarterback, but he had plenty of ability, but he never got to really hang with a coach and get in there in the film room and really study and lock in with a coach and just stay in his book and just stay in his lane with what they were going to do as a program. Every year, well, that one's out. I got to go here. Let's see. Get another book here. I'm going to learn more different plays. It happened to him so many times. So with that, they're getting lots of reps together. Ty Simpson's been there. He was there last year. He's been there. I think this is his 3rd year. No, he's a 4th-year guy. This is his 4th year. That helps a lot to know that he has been there and he's seen the system run last year through Milroe. Now he's been with it through spring. He's practiced it. That's going to be good. DeBoer says, quote, that we have to be better in big moments. They were undefeated at home, but there has to be more consistency on offense. Practice 1 will be in 2 weeks. I did write that down. So those are the things that you're kind of looking forward to see. Just hot points right here. The guys are competing with each other. They were asked about the Florida State quarterback saying what he said, and he just maybe it was Keenan, I think, said it'll be addressed. That's all I got to say. I'm telling you, man, you piss these guys off, and these are good football players. And he's entitled to say what he wants, and I dig it. I told you 2 weeks ago, if you want to say it, but you got to back it up. And I don't know if Florida State I don't know if they're there yet. They only lost 8 seniors. They have 17 seniors this year. They've doubled it in senior class. They're getting a lot of reps. They talked about evaluating their coach, their staff, and bringing Grubb in how to be better in those big moments and be more consistent on the road. They wasn't a good road team last year. I think those things are going to change for Alabama here. We're talking about reaction here to day 3 for the Crimson Tide. First of all, they're asking all the coaches about the 9-game conference, and pretty much most of them are saying that's above my pay grade. I don't know about that. I'm just going to play the games that we schedule. And he also talked about, like the other ones did, Kirby and even Napier. A lot of these games are scheduled way out. I mean, years ahead. I mean, Birds, me and him went through last night. We stayed on for a long time, and we went through a lot of different stuff. If you want to catch that show, you can go up in the pinned part in our Facebook or go over on YouTube and watch the show from last night. It's day 2 reaction. Georgia and Auburn. Those games, Bama's playing Ohio State, Jeff, I think in 27 is what he said. So, to play another conference game, all your coaches are going to say, 1, it's above my pay grade. 2, we welcome to play, of course, another conference game because that should add to our strength of schedule. But for me, side quote, but does it really? Because we got about 6 or 7 teams that's just not holding up their weight. In recruiting, SEC, those bottom 4 or 5, y'all have got to do better, man. We're trying to keep this in the conference. And adding a 9th game to the schedule, if the team's unranked, what good is it going to add to their strength of schedule? When we go to do an SOS, it says over there, and it'll say strength schedule. A lot of people go by that. Number of wins against ranked opponents. They take all these percentages and these other teams look at that from other conferences, and they're saying, well, they are playing their own conference. SEC is supposed to be, so good, and well, not really. I mean, they're playing Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Auburn ain't even right. I mean, so we've got to do better. I'm calling out all these other teams in the SEC. You've got to turn it up. Auburn, you've got to get better. You've got to do better for these. If you can't do no better, then just get out of the way and let somebody else wants to do it. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired of hearing it's July like it's not July everywhere else in the nation. I'm tired of the barn delusional syndrome, the BDS, that they're just constantly pointing fingers. And we're getting a lot of comments from Alabama fans. It's because your fans at Auburn continuously punching up at Bama about DeBoer being a joke. He's a joke. Because you just threw a party and rolled the trees when Saban retired thinking you may have a chance to be better at something. That's not what's happening. And when you get called out on your crap, then you gaslight people and tell people that Alabama fans have a derangement about Auburn, that they're just infatuated with. Nobody really cares. It's about the coach and the fans punching at the guy up the road, making jokes about him like he sucks. He's leads the nation in 50s, 15-3 against top 25. Freeze does not, and I don't think he ever will. I'm just not a fan of him. I don't think he's that good of a coach. And since we're going to be truthful and this is, be honest, why did they get Freeze? Because he beat Bama twice 20 years ago. Why did they get Jackson Arnold? Because he scrambled on his feet and he beat Bama. And it bothers me because I want the rivalry to be good. I'm just sick of hearing excuses, and I'm sick of being called a cheater. And when you call out all the other schools cheaters, and then you punch at the new coach to say he's a joke and he'll never be able to do anything. And then when you give back, then you gaslight people. I've said that word twice now, because all it does is divert, because it gives you something to talk about, because you can't Alabama lives rent free in the minds of most of the Auburn fans. And then to come on other media places that have a big following and to say how the media day ran and what order questions were asked and who asked the questions, you have a problem with it. And then refer to something from Gene Stallings and how he was asked, why are you so good? Like asking Gene Stallings, why is he so good, is a slap at Auburn. And what are you talking about? Nobody's thinking about you, bro. Those comments, and these are supposed to be legitimate people, having podcasts, and none of them will never see this, and none of them will ever have the guts to come on here and just have a great human conversation. I've asked. I just want explanations for things. You're saying these things like this to a camera and you're getting no rebuttal. You're just saying it. And, they asked that question. The first guy that asked Freeze a question, he was from AL.com. He's an Alabama fan. Gosh, that never happens to Alabama. Auburn reporters never get to ask Alabama the first question. What are we doing? Why does that matter to you? There's things that Alabama does, and the media, they just totally just run it all around Bama for years. It's been that way. It's because Nick Saban was there, the greatest to ever do it. Yeah, it runs around him because they've been toting your sorry tales from this state and carrying them to national championships so you get parts of the money for your sorry, lazy program that can't even find a coach. Don't push down on somebody that's been carrying this league. And if Florida would have been the ones winning it, I would be aggravated by that too. Stop punching down on people that's better than you. Their program is better. Why are you so mad about the guys asking questions and what order a question is asked? And then you bring up Gene Stallings. He's a legendary coach and a player. Are you joking? It is different for Alabama because they're Alabama. They were winning titles when Auburn was not even Auburn. It was Men's Methodist College. Then it was Polytech. The history and tradition is just not there. Stop comparing it. I just want Auburn to be Auburn. Go recruit your players. Don't try to sell yourself to be better than the guy up the road. That's just not going to ever happen. They're so mad that Saban's gone. They're still doing well. They still won 9 games last year, which almost double the wins of what they won. And they're so frustrated about being frustrated. And I'm with you, fans of Auburn. I am too. I want you to be able to win 8 or 9 games a year and be freaking competitive. And let's get back to this 9-game conference talk, because to keep them, Alabama's going to play them every year. But maybe Florida and stuff don't. Or Tennessee, maybe they want to add, when this 9-game conference comes around, that's what started this conversation about them, because you're not good. It's terrible. We hope Lebby can get Mississippi State off the ground. But Lebby and coach at Arkansas and nobody else is punching probably the number 2 team in the league, or 3. Georgia, Texas, Bama. Y'all were the only ones punching. There was no mention about, because I seen how Billy Napier was asked questions. I watched how Sark was asked questions. Sark talked about NIL and pretty much just said, well, they're just throwing money around buying players. What is he paying attention to? Would nobody understand what's going on out there in Texas? He is getting players. They spend $50 million. So this is a call, a plea, a reckoning. Mississippi State, Arkansas, Auburn, do better. We want this conference to be strong. That's what DeBoer was asked about. So to add a 9th game, he says, to be nice, well, yes, we'll welcome on another 9th game, and we'll have to maybe dump one of those, other games or whatever to keep the money around for these smaller schools. I like them being able to play the small schools because I'm for the small school. I'm a Jacksonville State University alumni. I'm not a hater of Auburn or Tennessee or none of that. I really don't like Notre Dame. It's a family, personal thing, how I grew up and stories that I heard from my parents and how Notre Dame fans jacked us and talked bad about Alabama and that kind of stuff. And it's not, I don't hate nobody. I don't care for the team. So we've got to do better. Conference teams. Come on, Coach Pittman. Man, he's such a likable guy. He talks about slobbering hogs at Arkansas. Y'all have got to do better. I like their quarterback, Green. Think he's going to be good. Mississippi State, I like their group. I think Levy's a great coach. I like him. Auburn's got guys there that can win games this year. I think Jackson Arnold fits perfect for what Freeze wants to do. I think they win 8 games this year. Go to a bowl game and maybe win it. They may win 9. I may be one of the only podcast people besides straight up Auburn sites that have them winning 8 games. Most people only have them winning 6. So I'm not drowning them. I want you to do better. Because when we start this 9-game conference stuff and Florida and Auburn play, it's got to be better. We want them to be ranked. Can Auburn and Florida be like, I don't know, 7-10, or number 12 plays number 15, or number 5 plays number 8, something? They have to be ranked opponents. We got to keep these strength of schedules up because we've already lost 2 in a row. I'm a conference guy, 1. I mean, you can see right behind me, I got Auburn stuff right here. I got Alabama stuff over here and up there, but right there you can see I got Georgia stuff. I want our conference to be able to control this. The Big Ten is taking and run with it because we're all fussing with each other about some, silly crap, and they're buying players because mostly the best players are around here between Louisiana, Florida. Georgia has tons of players. Texas has a lot. They're the ACC now. And, of course, California does just because of population. Got to do better. When this 9-game conference stuff comes in, the coaches can say, heck yeah, we're fired up about that. All 16 of our teams are ranked. We're all somewhere in the top 25. We're all in there. Come on, Vandy. Hey, Coach Lee's done a good job out there. Pava's talking all kind of crap. The guy's got 3,000 all-purpose yards last year. He's back. Can we get Vandy in the top 25? That's what I'm aggravated about. We want to keep this in the conference. If Alabama don't win it, okay, well, I mean, I'm pulling for the next SEC team. I'd like to keep it in the conference. We got to do better. Let's go. Come on, Vandy. Auburn, Arkansas, Mississippi State, South Carolina, they've picked it up, done a little better. Not worried about LSU, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, really, Texas, Oklahoma. It's just those 4 or 5, man. Jeff's team, Ohio State, they may win it again. We've got to get up. We got to get fired up as a conference. We got to get fired up as a conference. Now, lastly here, Coach DeBoer was asked about some players that he's seen stand out defensively. Probably be a better question for Coach Womack, but he is there at practice, and he can see LT Overton and Quay Russo are 2 big guys that they're really excited about seeing coming back and play another year. I think he got a really good shot at having a really good In takeaways, they were like top 3, in interceptions. I mean, dude, if your team's getting like 20, 25 interceptions a season, the other team don't have the ball. That's exactly what you want to hear. Grubb being back, they talked about that. To me, it's like Batman and Robin are back together. It's a comfort thing to be able to share stuff on the field, off the field, their buddies outside the game, dinner, wives, wine, steak, going over plays. It's going to be better this year. Look for the pass game to be better. Their defense is going to be solid. There's no reason Bama shouldn't win 10 games. No reason. I don't know excuses. You're going to be able to run the ball better. And they should be able to win 10 games, period. I mean, and he was asking, but here's something else that another team, well, they kind of asked them about what the standard was there in Alabama, and he just kind of acted confused all of a sudden about why he was, what's the standard? He wasn't confused. He said he was clarifying the question. Do you mean my standard? Personally, yeah, we're going to play for championship. That's what he's saying. You mean the standard for the school? Because he said for Alabama. He said it's to make it to the playoffs and have a shot at winning the title. Well, we're used to hearing from those guys up the road that, they're winning championships every year. Has it changed down there? Tell me about that. That's what you get these other people saying that stuff. Are you joking? Some people they can't have a free space in their head where they're not dwelling on Alabama. And that just proves their brand of football is just bigger than yours. But it's not just yours. It's bigger than all other teams besides USC, Notre Dame's, Ohio State's coming along. They got their brand. Texas is a huge brand. We're all in the same conference. Just worry about your team recruiting better, keeping players, not losing them to other teams. We need y'all to be able to win games to make our conference better. Okay. I know it's just something to talk about. It fills your comment section up and makes you feel good like your podcast is better than everybody else's. It's not. You just get recognized by some people. Because I can do exactly what you're doing because I'm doing it right now. Just have some common sense and talk to people and be open and be honest and be yourself when you do a podcast. And if they're being themselves, they're pretty shallow people. See, I'm just being honest. Personally, if I met them, I probably wouldn't care to hang out with them. They just seem like shallow people that contemplate on small things. And that's why their programs like Vandy's and Arkansas's and Auburn's and stuff are small. You're thinking about small things. You're really talking about the first question asked. You're complaining. I don't understand, man. The house is on fire and you're over there trying to fix the water heater. That's what it sounds like. But that some of these programs like that have always been that way, and that's why they'll always be where they are. Last stand. Focus on winning championships, getting you a football team together, keeping a coach longer than a few years, and stop making bad hires. And stop hiring people just because they beat another team. Well, they beat that. I'm just going to hire this guy. He beat that rival team. They beat LSU every year. I want that coach. So, moving on here to the Florida Gators, Coach Napier. I like Billy. He's a football guy. His brother coaches over there, Jeff, somewhere. Was it Loudoun County or he's over there? His name's Matt. It's Coach Matthew Napier. He coaches over there in Georgia. They, give him a little shout out there. So I like him. I like Billy. I think he's going to do fine. Jeff says that every conference has their weaklings. The Big Ten has Northwestern. The Big 12 has Kansas. Hey, now easy with Kansas. Hey, man, Kansas ain't half bad. No Jayhawks now. Rock Talk Jayhawk. I mean, they walk it and talk it. I mean, they're a basketball school pretty much, but not too bad. Jeff says that Auburn needs another Shug Jordan. Well, those days are just over. Talking about that, I heard a story that I had read in Missing Ring of 66. Good book. If you like football, just go over to Amazon, type in The Missing Ring of 66. It's probably like $5. If you just like football from the 50s and 60s, just buy the book and read it. It's a good book. That the Bear had called Auburn, was going to talk to, I think Coach Dye had just got over there. Or maybe he was still at Bama because he did help. He worked with Paul first. Maybe he was at Bama. I don't remember. No, but Pat was still there at Bama. He had not moved to Auburn yet. Took the job because that was the story. They were talking in the office and they met up in the morning like 7, 8 o'clock, coffee, talking football, and they called to the university to talk to the coach. Whoever the coach was before Pat died, I don't know. That would have been, later 70s. Jeff probably knows. And the maid answered the phone and said, "There's nobody there. They don't get there till, 11 o'clock or so." And, Bear said that's all he needed to know. So that's just the kind of story that ties in. What you're talking about there. They need another Shug Jordan. Well, yes, it's okay that Freeze spends time with a little bit of personal time to play some golf. I think he's playing golf to shoot a bird to the Cohen and all these boosters, because they're running it. The coach is not running it because they've cut the money off because I don't want nobody else is saying this. Nobody else is saying it could be a problem down there because they've only won 5 games last year. That may be why recruiting is slowed down for them. Have you thought of that? So a kid that wants $20,000, 30, 40, 50 alignment, say he wants $100,000 to come, it may cost another school like Vanderbilt's, which it's hard to get in there. Their freaking academics is super high. So if a guy wants to go to Mississippi State or Florida State, Florida State on like one game. I mean, for them to buy that lineman, if he wants $100,000 to go, to play at Bama, Texas, Georgia, it may cost those other schools $250,000. I've not heard anybody from a fan base that is last in the conference in recruiting to say the problem may just be we had a bad year last year and recruiting's just not going very well. No, it's just crickets. It's just something else. Everybody's cheating. We're not. It's just I hate cheating. They don't use that word because it just makes excuses because every time you get beat, it's somebody else's fault. It's not. It's because you're not doing enough. And Freeze can only do what he's got. If you're not going to get players, then what is he supposed to do? Just try to win what he's got. And, if you lose one here or there and hurt, then I don't know. I guess the kicker will be playing safety. I don't know. Jeff says when they go to the 9-game schedule, hopefully we'll have a permanent rivals on the schedule. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing, Jeff. You know exactly what I'm saying. You know this 9-team stuff. Ohio, they already play 9-game schedules. Ohio State does, though. I'm pretty sure they don't. The Big Ten play 9 conference games. And he just talked about up here, like Northwestern. Guys, I don't know if them. And that coach up there has done it. He did it. I don't think they run him off, or did they? Something happened. They had a big falling out up there. Man, Ohio State to try to add another game to their schedule. We're going to play 9 conference games, and Northwestern, they ain't even the top 60 in being ranked. How is that going to help Ohio State when it goes to strength of schedule? Did you see Texas' strength schedule? And they played for the SEC Conference Championship game. They didn't play, but was it one ranked team? or two. It was bad. We got teams playing for the SEC, and Georgia lost to Bama. And the only game that Texas really played was probably against Georgia, and they lost them twice. It don't look good, man. It's – I guess they're trying to see it as we're going to keep it in the conference. So if Ohio State's going to, their ninth game is Northwestern, then that money's going for them. It's staying in conference. So it's kind of like you just pay them money off a debit card out of an account that's other money, but it's really not like you're paying somebody cash because it's in your own conference. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're paying them, but not really, because it all comes out of the same big fund. Because with Ohio State winning it, they get if you won the championship, I forgot how much. Saban won it that last time. I had some numbers on that back in those years. Somebody say like, $10 million or, they would get for winning a championship, and then they split up, so much of it another way. Let's see. Comments here. My phone's going nuts here. Oh, Matthew Wilson. Yeah, go over there to the Facebook page. If you're a county guy, there's a ton of old athletes that Dean spent some time on doing this. We appreciate him for doing that. He just shared something, and there's some guys comment on it. So that's that for 9-game conference thing. And Napier was asked about it too, and he said the same thing. That's above my pay grade, and we're just going to welcome all newcomers, and whoever's here, line them up in front of us. By crap, we're just going to play them. And Billy's brother coaches, his dad coached football there in Georgia. And he talked about him and his dad riding to football games, going down the interstate, going down South Georgia and watching championship games. Billy's a football guy. The first 15-minute monologue thing, some people – there's just complainers out there. I don't know. It's too long. They don't need to have, so long to talk for. I don't really care. Then skip through it, man. I mean, if you're there, then don't go. Don't go. Give me your pass and I'll go. I'll go up there and sit and I'll cover it. And sorry that they wasted 5 more minutes of your time, because they should only have 10 minutes to open monologue. No, not 15. It's too long. Shut up. Damn. So Billy talked about his first 15-minute intro that University of Florida, 50 national titles, I think, 49 as a whole, as a university, from basketballs and swimming, and it's been a while since one in football, but they have, and it's been a while. They talked about the closeness of the team. Billy's excited about all these guys that they brought back. The 23 class. He hadn't lost any of those players from that 23 class. So Florida looking like, they may be rock'em sock'em robot here and be able to – I think they're going to be better too. And you can see where I'm heading with all this. As a whole, I think the conference is going to be better this year. I can see 12 of our teams going bowling in the conference, 13. Anybody disagree, agree? Hit in the comments over there. And, of course, they talked about DJ. Of course he did. He's great. He's an athlete. Watched him play high school stuff. Kept up with DJ Lagwood, QB of Florida. It's good to have a stud at quarterback. You know where you're at. You know what's going on. And you know what you're going to get. There's no surprise with him at all. I mean, you know what you're getting. He's an athlete, man. He's a real rock'em sock'em. I can't quit saying rock'em sock'em. Sorry. He's the real deal. And when you have a quarterback like that, it fits your system well. Seems like a great young guy. Parents, good parents. Great foundation. And you can tell, man, it's good to have a good player these days, to hear a good story about somebody that just commits and Durney just goes to the dang university commits to. Don't waver. Don't go, even a bunch of other visits. He wanted to be a Gator. That's where he went. That's what he done. That's what he's doing. Like Lacey, the kid from down south over here at Saraland, he wants to go to Texas, wants to play. That's what he's doing. You know, E.J. Crowell, tailback Jackson, he wants to play at Alabama. He's locked. That's what he wants to do. That's where he's going. That's kind of missed a lot these days. So we got to shout out to those guys for just being able to commit to something, you know, and not dance around. And, well, you know, I mean, if they offer me more than 20 grand over here more, you know, that's good. So the closeness of this Gator team, he really bragged about them a lot, and his quarterback, and he has a right to. And their final questions are always, you're going to get a coach answer. Man, we got so many bad media people. It's so bad. These freaking dinosaurs walking around all over the darn place down there. They ask the same dumb questions. Man, it's 2025. Don't ask a coach, well, Coach, where do you expect to be here towards the end of the year? They want to play for a title, you fool. They want to keep their paycheck and keep their job. What do you mean? What is the outcome for the season, Coach? Tell us about that. Go ahead, go in depth and go. What? I want to win. John, stop asking me the same dumb question. Come on, Jim. Tell him over there and Thomas, y'all got to work to stop that. The media stuff like that, and most of them never played nothing. But people kind of fooled around and played some and understand it, and you know, a dude, you know, you can't get those kind of people down there to ask questions like good, legitimate questions, you know, and some of them do. But we need a better room all over this SEC Media Day stuff. It's not great now. And whoever asked the first question, we got to get this straight now next year. So let's get this out front. Jeff, take a note of this. Next year, make sure if Coach Freeze is still there, that an Auburn reporter asks him the first question. Okay. Let's put that out for the media. There's nothing else to worry about, but let's just pet Auburn and let's just make sure that an Auburn reporter, since, you know, somebody told me that they run the state because all the senators and governors, they're all Auburn grads anyway. Make sure that an Alabama person, if they just look around the room randomly, we need to stop and say, are you Alabama or Auburn fan? Because last year, people on the media for Auburn griped that Freeze didn't get a first question from. So are you? I'm a Alabama fan. Okay, you can't ask a question. Freeze don't answer questions from Alabama reporters. Sit down. I'm an Auburn reporter. Okay, yeah, come on, bud. Yeah, tell us about your question here. Come on up here to the microphone. Let's make sure we get that done next year because that is really important. That's dweebs, man. We're talking about some freaking jack wagons that couldn't even walk by a balance beam without falling. Not a bone in anything they've done has ever done anything athletic to. It's just insane that these people really get paid to do this for a living. It's absolutely asinine. It just is. Texas Longhorns, Sark, he talked a lot about, and Billy kind of did too, a lot of academic stuff, you know, where they are, where they were coming in year one, you know, GPAs and how Texas has grown, how many guys first year or two, no guys in the league, and then the past two guys to the first round, 3 guys in the first round. That, I mean, let's just be honest. Media Day it's a great opportunity. And I ain't heard anybody else say this either, but who am I? I mean, I only get 4 people to watch a freaking YouTube video because I don't know nothing. Media Day is a great opportunity to recruit for your school. So you can say, Sark is like, hey, you know, we had our GPA moved up. Mom, make sure your kids going to class. That's what he means by that. And they're making good grades. They're going to be able to take care of themselves with a degree here from Texas. And we had 3 first-round draft picks. So if he's good enough, puts in the work and time, we could put him in the league and he could be a millionaire. Media Day is a great opportunity to recruit for your school. Great opportunity. That's another topic there. But, you know, I ain't heard anybody say that. But what I know. DJ Kim, he was the only O lineman they have back. We talked about them when I broke them down. Dean got into that pretty deep. Georgia's kind of in the same fit. But the portal is used for that. And that's what it's for. That's what it's for. The portal is for to be able to go get a guy, fill a spot that you need with a guy that's had some snaps. I think they got a guy from UCLA, a guy from Cal, or something, and he's, you know, had hundreds of snaps. So that'll be a good addition for Texas and Sark. So he talked about them a little bit. 51% of the team is back. That's 82nd in the FBS. 62% of the defense is back. And we talked about their defense. Greg McElroy says, and if he says it, people run with it. It must be true, even though he said, I don't think Saban's coming back. But there's people there's a little rumors going around. He might want to get back into this. 62% of their defense coming back. And Greg says they're best defense in the nation. Everybody right now is undefeated, though, Greg. Everybody's got something to talk about. You know, we just don't know. And lastly, we'll talk about this with Texas. Coach AJ Milwee, Milwee from Boaz, Alabama, is the quarterback coach, assistant offense coordinator. He's from Boaz. He was a quarterback in North Alabama from 05 to 8. He set a lot of records up there. Great athlete. Come out of this area just 40 minutes from here, north from here. So we had to give him a shout out. Played up there, and he went from there to – seemed like he worked under Coach Bowden where was he at? He worked with Terry, and then he went to that Mississippi. I remember picking up on him somewhere, talking about it, just us talking high school ball around here. He was at Mississippi Junior College out there, learned a lot, and looked up with Sark at Alabama, and he liked him. Young, does a great job. He's brought him on in Texas, and over the years that he's been out there with Sark, he's doing a great job. So shout out to AJ Milwee from Boaz. Hey, man, he's making a living the dream, doing what he loves to do. So that's kind of that. And that's day 3 reaction to the media day. And that kind of wraps it up, I guess, you know. Yeah, Levy did speak. I didn't really get into them too much. We're deeply, mostly, like you can see, Bama, Georgia, Auburn, we're going to pay a lot of attention to them. In Texas, of course, because they're supposed to be just they're supposed to be the cream of the crop. They're supposed to be really good this year. And he talked about it, quarterback Arch Manning, saying that, you know, Arch has been around. I mean, if you've been around gold jacket ceremonies and been to Super Bowls and, you know, been to all this through his high school career, he's, you know, played in some big games, and that's what they say. I mean, and they are always right, ain't they? I think he'll be fine. I think Arch is okay. I think he was a solid 4-star coming out, but I know they put him a 5. I didn't really I think it's some of his running ability, because he can get out there and get going. And I think he's kind of deceptively quick. He's kind of looks like a lanky, goofy white guy. I think he's more agile and a better runner than either one of his uncles, because if you've ever seen Peyton run, it ain't fun looking. But, boy, he is smart. That man's got a brain for football like top 5 all time. And Eli's not bad either, man. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, man. You can't knock those. You can't knock nothing against Eli. So I think it's going to be improved. I want to see Texas play a harder schedule this year, and they are. They're going to play Jeff. Is Texas, is Sark going to come up there to and put it on y'all, or what? 6 big teams were ranked in the top Right. You were talking about teams at non-conference games, played 9 conference games. Big Ten had, what do you say, 6. See, and I was just saying SEC, man, we need to have about 10 or 12 SEC teams ranked. And at one time, I think SEC had 6 or 8 last year. We got to step it up. Okay, we got to get Arkansas and Auburn. Golly, man, y'all got to do better. You've got to do better. Come on, man. Be part of the conference. Be part of the team. We're all in this together to try to bring this thing home. We got to do better. What would be funny if Day was fired and Saban hired Ohio State play Bama with Saban coaching? That would be absolutely gas. I would just – that would be pretty big, Jeff. I completely agree. So that's day 3 reaction. I'm going to get off here, and it's about 7 o'clock here Central Time. Thank y'all all for coming by, especially you, Jeff. Had a lot of people jumping in and out of the page throughout. We'll be back on maybe tomorrow if we got some more news coming on. Trying to just dig in a lot this week. And Sunday for sure. Probably going to talk about Oregon, Clemson, Ohio State. Probably going to go through those teams there and kind of see how it's all going to fish out. We've done most all the SEC except for like Vandy, Mississippi State, Arkansas. I'll leave you with this SEC soccer team. Arkansas may not be too terrible this year. Think about that. We'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you.